Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to go over the dimensional arena and the selection and heroes which I will be getting. I haven't posted a video in quite a while. That's because the devs have decided to cut down the rewards for the content creators, or at least me personally, because I do hit a lot of views per week, so I am probably the most watched content creator for the Omniheroes, but they did feel like I was getting too many rewards for it, which isn't true at all, but I guess it's too much for them. So I wasn't really feeling like making any new videos in a while, and I'm still not feeling like it. So the only thing pretty much keeping me for the game is making YouTube videos for it and pretty much just hanging out with the community, which I can kind of do without even playing the game. So yeah, now that we got that out of the way, the start is absolutely insane. Getting a free Lucifer is really generous, but those two heroes are pretty useless. Although you can kind of use Leandra because of her epic runes and because she's a deviant. So her epic runes are kind of decent because they apply a holy shield to herself. So it's pretty okay for the sustain, so she can tank some additional damage. And then the shared hero is Tsuki, which is going to be issue, but we do have Scepter. So if you see something like this in your dimensional arena and you see that shared hero is a corrode hero, mostly Tsuki or Gaia, you will want to have the Scepter for sure, because the Scepter will clear out all of the corrode, which basically counters the Tsuki herself, and as well as Lucifer or Hela. So this relic, keep in mind, is really valuable and shouldn't be overlooked. Now let's go over to our start card selection. So group 1 is Venus with Fenrir and Ophelia. Ophelia is not that good. Gloria could be usable but not amazing. So when picking Dimensional Arena, you're trying to pick the best heroes and not the synergies in most cases, but you're trying to do best of both worlds pretty much. And Arcane Doorbell and Fenrir are a good pair despite them not being the same synergy, because Fenrir in Dimensional Arena is pretty solid and can fit many teams because she does provide nice buffs in the Dimensional Arena, which is the flat values buffs, and they're really valuable in here. So yeah, we have additional attack and the HP from her. So apart from this, we have two good heroes and two mid-niche heroes. Then group 2 is worse in my opinion. Hades with epic runes, I don't personally like it. He's too slow and he's not as reliable. Navi is also not good. Navi does require 11 stars to be a strong hero. Leandra is pretty good, and Karnag as well, so it's Ethereal and Protector in one. So pretty good heroes, but they're nowhere close the power level of these two options. And then lastly, we have the Arcdina and Gaia, a really strong contender for the group 1. In my opinion, could be stronger if we already had secured ourselves a few Avengers. Although with Gaia and Tsuki in here, we could make the Mystifers already pretty strong, and with Lucifer and Arcdina as well. So we have to compare the strengths of these two heroes plus these two fillers, which Dullahan is strong because we already have Mystifers. But then we have to compare these two. So in these two cases, I believe that group 3 is a better choice for our team. Now in the group 2, we have pretty bad hero choices. So despite these heroes being okayish and somewhat usable, they are not really something I'm going to pick. I would assume there's something better in the upcoming rounds. Group 2 is slightly better because we do have Aphrodite, which is going to go well with our Arctina, and then we could use Christine and Nyx in the worst case scenario for the third team. We also do have the Chan for the Avengers. In the group 3, we have Venus with Dorabella and Gloria, as well as Madeline, which isn't really all that good, but the Venus and the Gloria with our basic Dorabella is pretty solid choice to go for. So it's basically comparing Aphrodite against two, or rather it's basically one. So it's basically comparing Aphrodite against Venus, and in this case we don't really have any other Venus enabler, although she does kind of make other heroes better. So I think we're going to go with Venus over Aphrodite, because she's also an X-hero on top of just being an enabler to the other teams. Then we have the Relic, so this is the three freezing points combo Relic, so Sarcophagus, Kusanagi, and the Frostclaw. All of these three apply the freezing point mark, so they're kind of a combo for the one team. but they're not good if you're looking for the Relic synergy mark, but if you're not looking for that, they're a pretty good combo to have. Then in the group 2 we have Banner with Cauldron, so a survival kind of thing, and then we have the stun and another stun relic, which is just position 1 against position 2. So this is kind of like initialing sustain kind of choice, whereas this one is scaling plus damage and as well as sustain. And then in the group 3 we have the winner, which is the Planner Gate, as well as Gleipnir is pretty solid. The Judgment Blades are not all that good, so we're going to skip them, but because this group does have the 3 amazing relics, we're going to pick these 3. Although Magatama is not that good, but I will believe that Planner Gate and the Gleipnir will carry this relic selection. Then in the round 4 we have some okay heroes being Dahlia and Arthur. Wukong is also pretty okay with Venus. Mavis is pretty terrible. Mavis does require 11 stars to be usable. So we're going to go ahead and look at the group 2. In the group 2 we have already far better choice because it's Yorm and Audrey, the 2 Glorians that are monarchs, so really amazing heroes that can fit with our Venus as well as with Amaterasu. Lamia being a pretty niche hero with which we will not probably play around, but she's still a solid hero to have around. But this group 2 has 3 amazing heroes for our synergy. And then group 3 is Babylon with Yingzheng and Diana, which is also another good option to go for, because we do have Yingzheng for our Phantom Avengers, which we kind of want to build, but unfortunately we can't with these heroes right here. Diana could go well with the Venus, and Babylon is kind of good in any team, but she does excel with Monarchs, which I don't have right now, so I'm pretty much just leaning towards group 2 instead. Despite this group 3 being pretty solid, I will go ahead and pick the group 2. And in the group 1 we have Hela with Bahamut and Janna, pretty solid options. Lee is as well as good with being yet another Glorian Monarch. So overall all 4 heroes are good, Hela being amazing because then it means we can pick our own Victoria, for example. In the group 2 we don't really have that good options. Halissa is solid but not amazing. Then we have Doris, Talanis and Minotaur, which is not really good for our team. And group 3 is Serafina with Leandra and 2 filler heroes, Merlin being the better one and Elune being just a pretty mid-tier hero. So we're going to go with group 1 and then we're going to make our teams after we select our final relics, which are going to be, so we have the Mystifar team and we have some kind of Venus with the Glorians, and then the third team will be Phantom Avengers with some kind of Arcadina team. I guess I will try to build around that. So that means I do kind of want, I will probably pick my own banner or Underworld chest. I'm not entirely sure yet, but it will probably be my own banner. So that means I need a Mystifar relics, but these relics are pretty good. I think I will go with the group 2. Both 2 new relics are really amazing for any team pretty much, so I'm going to go with them. So here is the first team I have ended up making. So the first team is the Venus with the Glorians. This is the Monarchs as well, so they have sustain. We have shields from Audrey, we have shields from Venus and Amaterasu, and then we have scaling from Yorm, Hela and Venus as well. Overall this team should be really strong. We keep Hela in the backline because most enemies nowadays just hit the backline, especially Babylon. So you want to keep Hela in the backline to stun the enemy team in case they have Babylon, and as well as other heroes that can pretty much survive the hits that the enemy Babylon can do. We keep our main carry in the front line in this case, and Amaterasu as the main true tank to basically tank the basic hits. As for the relics, I have the scepter in the position 1 just in case enemy plays Lucifer or any kind of debuffer, for example Tsuki, so we can cleanse these debuffs and be back on track with the damage and have a chance to beating enemies. Then we have the Planner Gate for the HP boost, on top of it Hela's HP boost, and as well as for the additional damage in position 2. And then the last relic is the crown for the seal application, because the crown is really strong in PvP, especially at 5 stars. So overall a strong Relic choice, and I expect this team to be really strong. In case this team doesn't go well, I will swap Amaterasu with the Primordial Arcdina in the team 3, because the team 3 is pretty much a throwaway team just made with these kind of heroes that have been left over, because no other heroes in here are good, and this team is basically just going on Reflect and sustain from the Arcdina, as well as the scaling and Janna and Bahamut. So overall a Reflect team that basically won't probably win any matches, but I will just be swapping Arcdina into the team number 1 in case I need sustain. So for now, these are the teams that are number 1 and number 3. And the second team is Lucifer with the Mystifers. Pretty balanced team. I did pick my own Eve because I'm not entirely sure which other hero I can pick. I could pick Hela. I could pick Hera, but then I would be pretty much splitting the three teams instead of making 2 strong teams. So this team should be able to beat a lot of teams, especially because I did use my own chest to basically enable Eve to instantly ult, as well as have this relic that will also give the ultimate hits the ignore defense effect, as well as perform a follow-up attack on the lowest HP. So overall it should be a really strong team made around Eve, and I will also put her in the front line just in case enemy has some kind of stun in the back line. So my Eve is safe for that, because I don't have any kind of way to cleanse the stuns unlike in the team number 2. So overall this team should be strong. I will consider swapping some heroes from team number 3 to team number 2 if this team does poorly. For example, I could remove Dullahan for the Arcdina or Bahamut for the HP increases. So those were the teams, those were my selectors, and good luck to you in your draft arena, in your selectors, and see you guys in the next one.